Hello and welcome to another Build With Me video. In this series we're going to be building this kit that I got. Link will be in the description, and hopefully we'll get it going and working. It's always a mystery when you start these kits off as to whether they will actually work or whether you'll make a mistake. So buckle up and enjoy the journey. So let's see what comes in this kit. Just a few LEDs, bag of components, little bag of hardware, PCB, laser cut acrylic case. I'll have a look at the PCB in a bit closer detail in a minute. A bag with components in it. So I'm guessing this is a layout guide, template, that's the word, for populating all the LEDs around and then soldering them up. Microcontroller, and also some hardware and a socket for the microcontroller. That's nice, and it's nice that they've got it in some foam, even though I don't think that's anti-static foam. Some little surface mount chips. I'm guessing this might be a power lead and maybe audio lead. A little audio adapter. Some very thin, questionable quality of wire. Little remote. And we're on to some smaller stuff. Here's another little surface mount component. I'm guessing these LEDs may be different. Perhaps these are color changing ones, just automatic color changing ones. Crystal USB socket. Little switch. Infrared receiver for the remote, and just some capacitors and resistors. Hopefully they have marked up on the capacitors. 27 picofarad, 47 picofarad, so that helps. This one though is not labelled, so we'll have to see what that's supposed to be. And then those are resistors. And just some mounting hardware. A little pin header. That may be for programming. I'm hoping that it's pre-programmed, because I haven't a clue about programming these things. And then I'm guessing that's the power switch. So I'll just clear this out the way, and then we can have a little bit closer look at our circuit board. So this is the circuit board. A little bit closer look. We'll zoom in a bit more in a minute, but as you can see, we've got our microcontroller. I think these are like serial decoders. 74 AC 573s. So we've got 5 of those, and then we've got the other surface mount chip, which is a ULN 2803. And just a few passives dotted around, and on the other side there's very little actually in the way of any components, but it seems to be that this is where the stack of LEDs will come up from, on this side it seems anyway. Not a lot of tracks on this side of the board, so they've managed to route it mostly on the other side. Let's bring you in a bit closer. So it seems from what I can see anyway, is that there's sort of a bus that's going between all of these 74 AC 573s. You see, you follow it around, again goes through those same pins, ground, and then through these same ones. So that's interesting. I'll be interested to see perhaps the circuit diagram. I haven't even opened the documents yet, so we'll have a look at the instructions that come with this next. So these are the supplied instructions. Well, there are no supplied instructions. There's not even a link from the description of this product to download some instructions, at least not yet. So this is going to be fun, as we're going to try and figure it out as we go along. But hopefully things won't be too bad, as it's going to be similar to ones that we've done before. So here's a closer up look at these surface mount passive components. We've got two values of resistor, 102, that's 1 0 and 2 zeros, or 1K, and then 103, 1 0 and then 3 zeros, 10K. Then for our capacitors, because they don't have any markings on their bodies, very helpfully they've given us the values of 47 picofarad, 27 picofarad, and then I'm going to call this one neither 47 or 27 picofarad. And hopefully they've put the values of each capacitor on the silk screen on the circuit board. We'll just have a check of that, and then we'll get on to mounting these passive components. So here's a bit of a close-up of the circuit board. Here we can see this most likely is the crystal. And then these will be the capacitors for that crystal. So there's the 27 picofarad capacitors, two of them. If we slide down a little bit, here we find C5, 47 picofarad, brilliant. So that's C5, that was C1 and C2, so we've got C3, 4, and anything else. Oh, 6, here we go, C6, and we've got 10 microfarads. So I'm guessing that these are supposed to be 10 microfarads. That's an incredible amount of farads, or microfarads, or capacitance, in such a small package. Well, we'll see if there's any other values marked on the board. Here we've got a resistor, switch, another resistor, another resistor, another resistor, and resistor there. So, no, there's definitely some capacitors that are not on this board. Let's just take a look at the underneath, just to make sure that we don't have, if we have anything underneath. Lots of jumpers. But no other components. There you go. Obviously this design has been revised and they've taken some capacitors out. So at least we've got our three values located. So we've got the 27, and the 47, and then the neither 27 and 47, which according to this is 10 microfarads. And we shall see. At that size, I would imagine that this is a decoupling capacitor. this capacitor over here is connected to pin 1 of the microcontroller. Quite often, pin 1 of the microcontroller is used for reset, and the resistor here. So that might be the capacitor and resistor that forms the reset circuit. Could be completely wrong on that, but we shall get on and start soldering these up.